Hello and welcome to my channel. This is another video in my Valentine's 2018 card series. This design is easy to change to any holiday or occasion, not just Valentine's Day. The materials that I use are very simple, and some of them I even got from the dollar store. Let me move this out of the way and show you how to create this card. The ink I'm using today is going to be 3 Memento inks, Angel Pink, Ladybug, and London Fog. I'm also going to be using 2 distress markers. This is Candied Apple and Black Soot. I'm going to be using a Wink of Stella glitter brush, and this is red. And I'm also going to be using the Spectrum Noir sparkle pen. I'm going to need a foam heart and some bows and rhinestones. I always get those out of my grip. And I'm also using a stamp from the Hero Art Celebration of Days, and this one says Happy Valentine's Day. Also, of course, I'll be using Versafine Onyx Black. The stamp sets I'm using today, this is a generic dollar stamps that I got, and I'm going to be using the Halftone Hearts stamp set. This is by Altenew. I've done a couple of designs using this stamp set already. You can check my channel to find those videos. So, as I said, very minimal supplies. So, let me move this out of the way and we can get started. The first step I'm going to do is to stamp on this foam heart, and I'm going to do that first because this needs time to dry. So this stamp has a red heart and black letters, but I wanted to have the heart separate from the black because if I tried to do this with stamp pads, it's a little difficult. So I'm going to use these markers to ink up my stamp. You can do this with any stamp that you have. You just need to be really careful that you don't damage the tip of your marker and you don't go straight down like this. You go from the side. So first I'm putting on the black and then the red on the heart. And I could do any colors that I wanted. If you have an intricate stamp which would benefit from having separate colors, like if there's flowers and leaves, you can do this technique with the markers. The only thing is you need to reactivate the ink by blowing on it. So I'm going to pull it back out of camera and just blow on it. That's all it takes. And now I'll just press it down. And I'm going to hold it for just a second to be sure that the ink transfers to the foam. And there you go. Now this needs time to dry. So I'm going to set this aside and clean this stamp and move right on. Now I'm bringing in my Misty tool and I'm going to stamp the front panel. This card design is so simple, I'm not going to do hardly any talking. We're just going to shoot right through. So I'm taking the Angel Pink and I am being sure that I get good coverage, and I'm trying not to have the marks from the stamp pad show up in this stamp. I've had problems with that on the lighter inks, so I'm going to be really careful. And I just re-inked this to make sure that I got a good, good ink. Well, there's a couple of marks, but we are going to live with that. And I clean this off real quick. And I want to be sure to dry it also. And I'm going to move on to the second heart, which is the smaller one, and I'm stamping this in Ladybug. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to take this away and use my second Misty. And I already have the stamps that I need in place. Now I'm going to explain this because it looks a little complicated the way I have all the stamps on here, but it will work out. I have this stamp group for the inside of the card, and this stamp group is for the outside of the card. And if you're careful, you can lay out your little stamps the way you need them to be and just move the paper around the MISTI tool as you need to. So I want to just show you this so that you can see it. So I'm going to now stamp this with the London Fog. As long as you're careful and you clean the stamps really good between images, then you can do this without worrying about messing up your work. Okay, so that's that. Clean this off, dry it. Now I'm going to slide this up here, and now I'm going to get this sentiment, "You're always in my heart." And I'm double checking. When you're doing stuff like this, always double check and make sure that things are exactly where you think they are, because you don't want to have to start over again. So now here is my sentiment. Okay. And now move that. And now I'm bringing in my card base, and I'm going to stamp the inside sentiment. First I'm going to do the sentiment in black, and I have to be careful at this point so that I don't accidentally get the black onto the heart. If I do, I'll just wipe it off, but if you're really careful, it's fine. Okay, I did make a mess on my MISTI, but that's all right. It's not going to show up. Okay. There's that. Clean this off really good and dry it. And now bringing in the ladybug again, and I'm going to ink up those hearts. This time being sure not to carry the red up too high, because then I will get a ghost image from the sentiment. Put that in place. And there we go. Just a little setting up ahead of time. When you do things like this, you can save a lot of time off of your project, and you can easily mass produce cards this way. Just take a few minutes and have everything set up and ready to go. So the rest of the card is just assembly. So I'm going to just let the music run and put it together. One thing, this foil is a little bit tricky, so I found out rather than putting the tape on the foil, it's easier to put the tape on the mat. But I have to be sure that I put the tape in so that it doesn't show, because if I put it at the edge, of course, it will show in the design. So I've come in just a little bit. That's the finished card. As I promised, it was very simple, very quick, and I got this, I didn't mention it, but the foil I got from the dollar store. You could recreate this design using other shapes. you weren't limited to using the hearts. You could use circles or stars or anything. So I'd like to thank my brother for the music that he provides for this channel. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I really appreciate all the good comments that I'm getting, and I try to reply to everything. And I hope that you will try this card yourself or something similar. It's very simple, and you just need to set a little bit of guidelines to yourself to get everything organized and ready to go so that you can assembly line your way through it. And I also made some others. Let me bring this in using this same design, because this was very easy to mass produce. I did all of these cards. It's 14 in total, and it only took me 20 minutes to do it. So thanks for watching, everyone. Please try this design yourself. Everyone have a great day and take care. Bye-bye.